Please subscribe my channel. I still remember the smell of disinfectant clinging to my clothes as I stood in the hospital corridor, staring at a wall I couldn't bring myself to see. My wife was lying unconscious a few rooms away, her body covered in bruises I hadn't caused, injuries I hadn't prevented, and pain I hadn't known was coming. The nurse had said her name out loud, slowly, as if saying it gently would soften the damage already done. My mind kept replaying the last time I saw her walk out of our house, angry, distracted, distant, but still alive and untouched. I had no idea that the next time I'd see her, she'd be broken in ways I didn't yet understand. We had been married for 11 years, long enough to confuse routine with trust and silence with peace. From the outside, our life looked stable, even boring. We had jobs, shared dinners, quiet evenings, and conversations that stayed safely on the surface. Somewhere along the way, we stopped asking difficult questions. I didn't notice when her phone became more important than our talks, or when her smile stopped reaching her eyes. I told myself that marriage naturally settles, that passion fades and comfort replaces it. What I didn't realize was that comfort can become blindness when you refuse to look too closely. The call came late at night. An unknown number. A man's voice, tight and professional, told me to come to the emergency room immediately. He didn't explain why, only that my wife had been brought in after a violent incident. Violent. The word echoed in my head as I drove faster than I should have, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. I tried calling her phone over and over, knowing no one would answer. Every red light felt like an accusation. Every second felt like I was already too late. When I arrived, I saw her shoes first. They were placed neatly under a chair, as if someone had tried to give order to chaos. Seeing them broke something in me. Those were the shoes she wore when she wanted to feel confident, when she said she was meeting friends or running errands. They looked harmless, innocent, completely unaware of what they'd carried her into. I sat down hard, my legs suddenly useless, and waited for someone to tell me what had happened. The doctor came out after what felt like hours but was probably minutes. He explained her injuries in calm, clinical language. Broken ribs. A concussion. Internal bruising. He said she was stable now, that they had done everything they could for the moment. I nodded, pretending to understand, pretending to be strong. Inside, my thoughts were screaming questions I was too afraid to ask. Who did this? Why was she there? Why hadn't she called me? It wasn't until later, after the paperwork and the waiting and the numbness, that the truth began to surface. A police officer approached me quietly, his expression careful. He asked if I knew anyone who might want to hurt my wife. I almost laughed at the absurdity of the question. Then he asked if I was aware she'd been seeing someone else. The hallway seemed to tilt. I felt my stomach drop, my body reacting before my mind could catch up. Seeing someone else. The words landed heavily, rewriting years of memories in an instant. I wanted to deny it, to argue, to defend the woman I thought I knew. But the officer didn't push. He didn't need to. The evidence existed whether I accepted it or not. Her lover had been identified. An argument had turned violent. Neighbors had called the police. She had been found alone, barely conscious. Every detail felt like a blade, cutting away at the version of my life I'd believed in. When the doctor returned, it was different. He didn't stand at a distance this time. He leaned closer, lowering his voice as if sharing something fragile. He told me that while treating her injuries, she had regained consciousness briefly. In her confusion and pain, she had said a name that wasn't mine. Then she had whispered something else, something she thought no one would repeat. The doctor looked at me carefully before continuing, as if measuring how much truth I could survive. He told me she had said she was scared to go back, not of me, but of the man who had done this to her. She had said she thought he loved her. She had said she didn't know how everything had gone so wrong. Hearing that hurt in a way I hadn't expected. Not just because of the betrayal, but because of the realization that she had trusted someone capable of this. That she had risked everything for a lie that nearly killed her. As I finally stood beside her hospital bed, watching her chest rise and fall, I felt a strange calm settle over me. The anger would come later. The grief would follow. But in that moment, all I felt was clarity. The marriage I thought I was saving didn't exist anymore. The woman I loved had made choices that changed both our lives forever. Whatever happened next, I knew one thing with certainty. Silence had brought us here, and I would never ignore the truth again.